They've had over 100 arrests since August the 7th when he first brought this up. 43 people were arrested last night. Bad people are being taken off the streets. Illegal weapons are being taken off the streets. So they're already having some success. My advice on this, as a punditry matter, would be, well, let's see where we are at the end of 30 days. How much progress have they made? And then Congressman can make an assessment at that point about whether this is working, and maybe it would help to extend it a little bit.
I guess I'm old enough, Scott, to remember when you were appalled, as the rest of us were, on January 6th, when he wouldn't.
Because January 6th happened, should we not enforce the law today?
Excuse me.
Do you want murders today?
Let me finish, Scott. I know
January 6th equals no enforcement of murder. This is a silly argument.
I see you, Scott Jennings. I see what you're trying to do here. I see you trying to speak logic and reason. I see you trying to convey common sense to a panel whose only sense are resting next to the battery-powered wang in their pocket. I see you once again proving why Uncle KC refers to you as the American hero. I am a real American. Unfortunately, it is a complete waste of time. These people don't understand logic. These woke welfare collectors at CNN, they are not being paid to engage in an honest debate. These people are paid propagandists. It is literally their job to lie. And if it wasn't for the American hero Scott Jennings, woke welfare collectors at CNN, they would be lying with impunity. If you're a normal person, you're probably struggling to understand all the fake outrage right now in the woke media. This is the same media that is constantly preaching to us about the illusion of safety. 5 years ago, the media was trying to convince us that it was too dangerous to leave our house. You can't go outside, that's where the germs are. Every summer, and I mean every summer, the media tries to convince us that Mother Earth is on the verge of spontaneous combustion. If you drive a gas-powered vehicle, or in the case of the Wicked Weave Joy Reid, a gas-powered broom, if you're using anything involving gas, they claim you're causing a heat wave. If you fart and grab a fan to spread your personalized fragrance, the media refers to it as toxic wind. Now, of course, the whoopee cushion on The View, she is allowed to spread her boodle breeze with impunity. Whoopi Goldberg is praised by her pretend friends in the mainstream media every time she cranks her leg and blows the toupee off the bearded beauty in the front row of the audience. But if you want to share your boodle breeze, the climate crusaders charge you with air pollution. Over the last couple of months, the media has been crying about the safety of the children of Gaza. The evil Zionist regime is starving the children. Oh, the children! It's all about the children! The media blindly defends undocumented migrants. They want them to travel safely into the country. And when they get here, the media wants your tax dollars used to support them. With the media so concerned about safety, you would think they would appreciate the Trumper cleaning up the streets of Washington, D.C. I was listening to Bill O'Reilly earlier today. He claimed that the Trumper is getting the homeless off the streets of D.C. These people camping out in public parks, dropping their doodles on the sidewalk. The Teflon Don, he is giving them two options. Option number one, go to jail. Option number two, go to a publicly funded mental health facility. Now, whether or not this plan will work, I don't know. But at least the Trumper is trying something. It's damn sure better than the alternative. It's damn sure better than what Gabby Newsom is doing in the People's Republic of California, which is absolutely nothing. But it's not just the streets that Donnie is looking to clean up. He's also working diligently to give a refresher to American history and government institutions. And by give a refresher, I mean the Trumper is eradicating the lies that were implemented by John Biden, and he's rewriting American history with the truth. Now, as you guys know, the woke media, they are allergic to the truth. When exposed to the truth, those infected with stage 4 OMB, Orange Man bad! Those infected with stage 4 OMB get mad, mad, mad when exposed to the truth, which is exactly what happened last night when Jillian Michaels completely humiliated everyone at CNN, not named Scott Jennings. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video. With all this rain we've been having down here on the Gulf Coast, the mosquitoes have been brutal, which is why I have been using Buzz Blocker. One of the most annoying things about being outside in the summer, besides the unrelenting heat down here in the South, one of the worst things about summer, mosquitoes, no-see-ums. A couple of weeks ago, I'm outside after a storm trying to grill. The mosquitoes were relentless. I came inside looking like a leper. In my experience, a lot of these repellents are ineffective. They seem to attract mosquitoes instead of repelling them, which is why I have started using mosquito repellent from Buzz Blocker. Buzz Blocker was created by a mother whose daughter was allergic to bug bites. When nothing else on the market worked, she decided to create something for her daughter that was actually effective. Buzz Blocker repellent is made from 100% organic ingredients, and it's also DEET-free. More importantly, it actually works. Says it right here on the bottle, the one that really works. I apply Buzz Blocker before going outside, and there's not a mosquito or no-see-um willing to touch me. When you're outside in the summer, you don't go outside without sunscreen. You should have the same mentality with mosquitoes and no-see-ums. Buzz Blocker comes with a money-back guarantee. If it doesn't work for you, which it will, but if it doesn't, you will get a full refund. So protect yourself the rest of the summer by clicking the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Buzz Blocker. How many of you guys are familiar with Jillian Michaels? You might recognize her from some of the work she's done in the past with the NFL, or for being one of the trainers on The Biggest Loser. Surprisingly enough, The Biggest Loser is not a show that airs on CNN. Judging by the title of the show, it damn near describes the entire network. Every night in prime time, a bunch of unknowns at CNN fight to see who can be the biggest loser in the ratings. But The Biggest Loser, it's a show where Jillian Michaels tries to transform Shamu into a minnow. Outside of her work in television and personal training, Jillian Michaels is also a Trump supporter. But she is an absolute nightmare for deacons at Woke United Methodist because she's also a proud member of the LGBT community, which means the deacons can't use their usual labels on Jillian Michaels. She's homophobic. She's afraid of Tran Dan. She refuses to support questioning Quentin in they's quest to properly select them's gender. Last night on Abby Phillips' Primetime Dump, which continues to be saved by the American hero Scott Jennings, if you remove the American hero from this show, this polished turd would go back to averaging 300,000 viewers. If you don't believe me, go look at the ratings for Laura Coates. The American hero hands her 500,000-600,000 viewers every night. Laura Coates instantly loses half of them. Last night, Jillian Michaels was part of the panel with Scott Jennings, which means there were two normal people on the panel surrounded by people infected with stage 4 OMB. One of the infected patients was a Democratic strategist named Jamie Rogers. But my name is Julie Rajinsky.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Jamie was whining and complaining because the Trumper is injecting truth back into the Smithsonian. She was worried that the Trumper was removing history that's offensive to white people. He's erasing the painful history of slavery. It's not fair. How will I apologize for my white privilege if this evil orange disgrace is erasing the basis of my white guilt? Jillian Michaels sat there patiently inhaling these incredibly toxic mouth farts. But then, she provided some truthful Listerine to mask the smell of this rancid garbage. Watch for yourself.
Things that don't offend parts of the MAGA base, right? So we're now literally reviewing parts of American history and parts of American culture to make sure it comports with dear leader and what the MAGA
Can we address
wants.
some of those things that are in there? Because have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Slavery was a bad thing that was to talk about.
Okay.
Like,
he's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
okay.
he's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you
can't tie slavery.
Let's talk about the fact
that
slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people were
Do you know
the slave
who
owners.
was the first race to try to end slavery? Well, what's controversial?
I'm very surprised.
This is an extraordinary exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Do you realize that?
Jillian, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery and who was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is that
in the context of American history.
Okay.
In the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that it was white people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad.
Did you notice that once the truth entered the conversation, every woke panelist tried to silence it? Once their narrative was proven false, once Jillian Michaels busted their myths, everyone not named Scott Jennings tried to silence her. One of my long-term viewers sent me this clip around midnight last night. I couldn't sleep. I was laying with Oreo on the couch. A lot of times when I can't sleep, but I'm tired and my brain is running at half capacity, for some reason, I often come up with things that I wouldn't normally think about throughout the day. As I'm watching this clip last night over and over while half asleep and taking notes, for some reason, it reminded me of high school. It seems like bullying and humiliation has pretty much been eradicated from schools, which is a good thing. But as is often the case, there are positives and negatives to everything. When I was in high school, if you started talking about white supremacy, if you started whining about mythical racism, the black kids would shut you down. If you were advocating for boys to compete against girls, the boys would shut you down. Today, it seems like these ideas have been emboldened because for the longest time, people were afraid to stand up to them. They were afraid of being labeled racist. They were afraid of being labeled homophobic. It's like the roles have been reversed. The kids in high school who used to be victims of bullies have now become the bullies. Once again, CNN has gotten lucky. CNN has stumbled upon a formula that works. If I were CNN, I would have Scott Jennings and Jillian Michaels on together every night, demolishing the false narratives of the paid propagandist. This is money. This is entertaining. You're not really seeing this on other networks either. You don't really see it on Fox News. You damn sure won't see it on MSNBC. This is how you differentiate yourself from other networks. Every night in prime time, you have the American hero and whatever prestigious title that I come up with for Jillian Michaels. You have them humiliate the propagandist. What do you guys think? Is that a winning formula? Also, what do you think of all this fake outrage over the Trumper cleaning up crime in Washington, D.C.? I think the media noticed that Jeff Epstein was no longer working, so they created something else to complain about. What about you? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.